Oops. And I have to do there we go. I had to switch to gallery view. Otherwise it looks just like me, just me by myself. Hi, everyone. A very awkward beginning to this, but that's okay. I'm sitting here with Rebecca Sturgeon. She is a friend of mine that I met at a women's retreat in Boulder, Colorado, and I loved her energy as soon as I met her, and she very graciously agreed to let me interview her and chat with her about how she became a healer and what kind of work she does. And we're going to have a really fun experience at the end. She's going to lead us through a really great exercise. I've never done it. I'm really excited. So thank you so much for being here. I'm really grateful.
You're welcome. I'm happy to be here.
Rebecca has her cat with her, and so we're going to get cat medicine as we, what's your cat's name?
Her name is Bonkers.
Hi, Bonkers.
And she is very cuddly.
Oh, so cute. Okay. So since I don't even really know your background very well, I would love to hear you just share what you do and how you got there and all the details of your life. Just tell me everything.
Everything about my life. Fabulous. Well, I'm a massage therapist by training. And as I'm learning, the more that I do it by temperament. So I became a massage therapist after a long circuitous route where I did a lot of different things, and basically was working in a elder care facility, and just realized like, oh, I'm meant to touch people, like literally touch people. So I went to massage school, and here I am. So I've always my focus and my massage practice has been about people who are in extremis. So whether it's, from chronic illness or people who are dying, or just people who are in extremis because of life. And I think there's a lot of us right now who are in that situation. So at the moment, my clinic is shut down, but when I work, I have a community-based private practice. I have a lot of people who I specialize in oncology massage.
Wow.
So a lot of people who are in or have been through cancer treatment. And I also teach. I teach continuing education classes in oncology massage and various other things. So I kind of see as I'm growing in this profession, I've been a massage therapist for a little over 10 years now, which kind of makes me an elder, which is weird, but also beautiful.
A wise woman. You're a wise woman.
Yeah. So wise and ever learning woman. But as I kind of become an elder in this field, I am exploring what it means to sort of mentor and support the people who are newer, because massage is changing and transforming, and in ways that could be really beautiful if we pay attention to it. So I kind of see my role as evolving more into a guide in that way. That
is beautiful. What is oncology massage for anyone who doesn't know? Because there's people.
Oh, right. Okay, so oncology massage, it's not a protocol. It's more of a way of approaching and understanding. So it involves, first of all, on the practical level, an understanding of what cancer is and how it develops in the body, and also an understanding of cancer treatments. And when I say that, I mean like standard biomedical cancer treatments, Western medicine, and how those affect the body. And then mindful and careful adaptation of the massage that one already does to support a body that has these challenges to it. We talk a lot about, oncology massage is like double Dutch, like your body is doing this complicated thing with some jump ropes. And our job as a massage therapist is to just get in there, do our thing, and not disturb what your body is already doing, to support and to also soothe. And And the thing that is so lovely about oncology massage to me is that we have this incredible privilege to be the person in someone's, one of the people in someone's whole cancer experience that sees you, and this makes me cry,
You.
sees you as an entire human.
Mm.
It's a lot of cancer treatment, and it kind of has to be like this. You know, you become, you know, your cancer, or the body part that's affected by your cancer, and things are targeted, and, you know, you talk about like the lung or the breast or the colon or whatever. And that's great. That's an approach that leads to a lot of cures and remissions and extended lives. But it's really important for someone's body to be put back together.
Yeah.
So
Thank you for doing that.
thank you. It's a privilege.
It is a privilege.
Yeah.
Mm. Do you work with people who are actively dying?
I do, not so much right now, but I do. And that's also one of my, this is weird to say, but one of my favorite things, one of my favorite places to be. Because it's really like you don't get to pretend about anything in that situation, including, you know, your own mortality and your own, like, what this means. This was, can I tell a story?
Yeah.
Someone? Okay. So one of the people I worked with when I was doing more hospice work was younger than I, and he was dying of a really aggressive cancer. And this is what makes this stuff so beautiful, is you have moments like this. So I was working with him in his bedroom, and he was just wasted, you know, just his body was
Wasting away. Mm.
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, he died a couple of days after this massage. And he was kind of in his hospital bed in his bedroom, and his wife was also in the room. And she had like a box of cards or something she was sorting through while I was working with him, but just in the room with him. And, you know, he didn't really talk anymore. He didn't really communicate verbally. But I was holding his shoulder or something, and I noticed he was just looking over at her. This will make me cry too. There's gonna be a lot of crying.
That's okay.
But he was looking over at her, and it's really rare to witness that kind of just pure love.
Mm. Beautiful that you got to be there for that.
Yeah, it was such a gift. It was such a gift to be able to just see, and it was like the room filled up with it. So that's one of the things that I love about working with people at the end of life, is that whatever the essence is, it just fills the space. I also had the privilege to be around my partner's mother as she was dying.
Yeah.
And her whole essence was sweetness, just pure sweetness. And to be in that space is just amazing. Yeah.
Wow. Have you explored any death doula work at all?
You know, I have looked into it and thought about it, and I have friends who are death doulas.
Yeah.
But I really feel like my purpose is different. So, and I'm feeling more and more called and drawn to the sort of teacher elder space. So, and the people who I know who are death doulas are just so amazing at it that I feel like people are supported.
Yeah.
In a wonderful way. Yeah.
Just for anyone who doesn't know, a death doula is someone who helps you transition and is knowledgeable about how to help people move through the psychological piece of dying and supports the family in that. It's a beautiful piece of work. I did take a weekend workshop.
Oh, wonderful.
On consciously dying. It was called Consciously Dying, I think.
Yeah.
It was lovely. We learned some shamanic techniques. We wrote our own eulogy. We did all kinds of stuff, and really came to terms with our own feelings and beliefs about death and dying. I loved it. but of course, it takes a lot more training than a weekend workshop.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot more like inner exploration. This is for fun. I am part of a book club where we read books and talk about death.
Yeah.
So,
for fun.
for fun.
I would be into that too.
But it's kind of a constant conversation, exploration.
Yeah. And there's a whole field of psychology called existential psychology that looks at death and dying. There's this one psychologist, I think he's dead now. I'm not really sure. His name's Irvin Yalom, and he really explores feelings, how he feels as a therapist about dying. And he's an agnostic. So it's interesting to hear a agnostic perspective on when we're dead, and how he works with the emotions around that. It's easier for me and perhaps for you, because I know that my essence is gonna leave my body, and I'll have more experiences after this.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still sort of exploring what I feel is true for after this is gone.
Yeah.
And what I'm sitting with and what feels true for me is that I will never know. In the consciousness that I have now, that I call me,
right,
which is a construction, but that's a whole other conversation. Right? We'll never know or understand it, and I think I'm okay with that, because there's another larger consciousness that is we, us, everything.
Yeah.
That absorbs it, I guess.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. We'll find out
at some point. Lovely. Oh, you've been in the healing business for a really long time. Did you do were you in corporate before that, or did you do anything kind of, mundane or whatever you want to call it?
Oh, I did so many things. I was actually an IT person for several years.
Yeah.
Which is an incredible mismatch, but I learned so much. It was like amazingly poor choice. And I actually started my adult life going to graduate school and thinking I was going to be an academic. And that was actually when I realized, I didn't take it in, but I first had the inkling that, no, you are not supposed to be away from people. Which is basically what an academic does. Right. That I am supposed to be with people. And I didn't really take that in clearly, because the next thing I did was IT.
You were at a desk.
Right. My computer. And after that, like, did just random things. Worked at a bookstore, which I loved. Amazing. And ended up going to massage school because I had moved across the country and then back across the country again, and told my partner at the time, I'm like, I get to go to whatever school I want because I just moved here for you. And he was very supportive, and now here I am.
You are.
Yeah.
Huh. So I asked my partner Noah this when I was interviewing him. I asked him what he thought of massage school and what he learned there.
Yeah.
What did you think of being in that school?
Oh my goodness. I have so many opinions about massage.
Let's hear them. I want to hear them.
I think my education, this will sound arrogant, but let me explain. I think I rose above my education. And I think that is the challenge for many massage therapists right now, is we need to rise above our education.
Yep.
Because this is one of the areas of transition of the massage field. Our education is inadequate for the people we need to do this work. Yeah. I think it can be very adequate for things like technical things, like this is the origin and insertion of your muscles, and this is their action, and this is how you do massage strokes. But that's like a tenth of what we do as massage therapists.
Yep.
and we talk a lot, my colleagues and I who teach talk a lot about the damage that massage therapists do, if they do any damage, is not from these, it's from this.
Mm-hmm.
So
tell me about that. I want to hear about that. Because I think that transcends all professions. It's not just massage therapists, it's physical therapists, it's chiropractors, doctors.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me.
Any healing profession, right?
Oh,
Any
yes.
human facing profession.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of how to say this carefully. There are a lot of opinions that are formed by any profession, but I can only speak to massage therapists in particular, without thoughtfulness,
mm-hmm.
Or exploration or healthy questioning,
mm-hmm.
And things that are repeated without an awareness of the human that we're repeating them to.
Yep.
So, I think in particular about oncology massage, when I teach this, we spend time, not enough time, I wish we had more, but we spend time talking about how you are with your clients and patients who are facing cancer treatment, and how you are with people in particular. There are things that people accept or choose or want to be done in the name of treatment, that may appear violent or they're painful, they're shocking in some cases. And we get in the habit of things like, you'll be okay on the other side, or you'll come out of this. We say things that we think are positive and optimistic, and it all comes from a beautiful place in the heart. I want to acknowledge that first.
Yeah.
But what we're trying to do, we are not being present with the person in front of us. What we're doing is comforting our own anxiety.
Yep.
So, if we take a minute to sit in the discomfort of someone who has just learned that, I don't know, they've had a recurrence of their metastatic cancer and there are no more treatment options, right?
Yeah.
Which means that they are going to die, and soon.
Yeah.
It is infinitely harder to sit and be open in the discomfort of that than it is to say things like, but today's a good day, or maybe, there's new treatments coming up all the time. That doesn't do anything for the person in front of us. What that does is soothe our own anxiety and our own hurt.
Right.
So that's the kind of thing that we talk about when we say that this is what does the damage.
Yeah.
Is it's our job isn't just to rub people. Anybody can rub somebody. That's not, frankly, it's not that hard. Right? Yeah. What is infinitely harder is to be present with somebody in that closeness.
Yeah.
And be open and accepting and loving in the face of whatever.
Yeah.
So it's a practice.
It is.
At it.
I know. Nor am I.
Yeah.
I goof up. I say things. Yeah. I'm like, oh, shit, I shouldn't have said that.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah. I had this moment of, I texted a friend of mine because I was so proud of myself. I have a client who has really advanced stage of lymphedema, and had just gone into the hospital for cellulitis. It's really, it's kind of dangerous. She could lose her legs. Yeah. It's serious. And I was talking to her while she was in the hospital and kind of getting the update and talking to her on the phone of where she was. And at the end of the conversation, she said, "Okay, have a good weekend." And I did not say "you too." Yeah. She's in the hospital, Right. And I was so proud of myself. I was like, "Yay, I didn't do that." That's a practice, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So. Sometimes there's we have these beliefs that we hold to be true for us.
Right. Yeah.
And we have to hold our tongue.
Yes. Yes.
Like this whole coronavirus thing.
Yeah.
I believe that good is going to come out of this.
Yes.
It does not help people who are terrified that they're going to lose their parents or their kids for me to say, good is coming out of this. Positive thinking, people. It doesn't help at all because it invalidates people's experience in the moment and what's true for them.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I had that experience. I totally agree with you. I think that this is like an earth-shifting opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel in my bones, because this is our opportunity to understand that there is no I, there's only we.
Yeah.
But it's not helpful. I teach an online mentorship class, and we met last night. And one of my students is really freaked out about this. And you know, it was a challenge, but I think I did okay to kind of sit with her and the rest of the students and allow them to be freaked out and not go straight into, this is your opportunity. That's not helpful. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
People need space to feel their feelings.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I think that that's one of the gifts for me from Awakening Women.
Yeah.
Is not, I'm good at holding space for people, but it deepened for me when I went to those retreats. For everyone watching who has no idea what I'm talking about, Awakening Women Institute is a beautiful set of retreats and online workshops and a beautiful online platform for women to awaken and to come into sisterhood and to really come into how to be a present and conscious and awake woman in this world. And as a part of the workshops, when you go to them, you learn how to hold space for other people with your body and with your energy field, and allow people to really express with their bodies and with their words and their throat and crying and whatever they need to express in that moment. And we do nothing. We do not fix it. We just hold space. We act like the masculine energy, essentially, to be pure presence for them. And it's such a gift to be seen and have someone hold space for you in that way. And it's an equal gift to be able to learn how to hold space for others that way.
Yeah.
And I got better at my profession after going to those workshops.
Yeah. I feel like I am getting better at being a human.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
After going to those and experiencing that. And it's so powerful to be in a space where you know that the people who are supporting you are just going to support you. They're not going to try to fix you. They're not going to, they're just going to be there and love on you for however you show up, however broken you may feel.
Right.
It's really,
or even if you can't express anything, that's okay too. Like if you feel frozen and numb and you're like shocked that you're even in the room, like, how did I get here? And what am I doing here? That's allowed too.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
It is. Really awesome work that you're doing. Is there anything else that you think, I mean, like I said, we're going to get totally off script here. Is there any other thing about therapists, or about the massage business or healers that you find that we really need to change, that we critically need to change?
I have so many opinions, Jamie. I mean, my students would tell you. I think that we really need to get down with the concept of being servants. And to kind of shuffle off this whole like authority paradigm that it has been constructed around us, particularly I feel like in the Western world. And to really understand that anyone who works with another human being, in particular another human being's body.
Yep.
That your job, your purpose is to serve. And take your ego doesn't belong here. Your ego doesn't belong very many places, but it super doesn't belong here. And to really become humble about all of the mistakes that we make and will continue to make, because this is how we are. We are made to be imperfect. And all of the knowledge that we don't have. I really believe that the most loving and healing and powerful thing that we can do for anyone that we serve is to say, I don't know.
Yeah.
No. And the other equally powerful healing thing is to say, I was wrong. When you're wrong. Because it's just, it helps no one to protect yourself in that way.
I've had to admit that.
Yeah. It's hard, right?
It can be. I mean, it was. Now I'm in the habit of saying, I have no idea. Let's find out. That's all I say. I have no idea. I can't tell you. Let's find out.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah. Yeah. And it does have to become a habit, doesn't it? It just, you say it the first time and it's really hard, and then nobody gets hurt. It's okay. It becomes easier. And then it's, I mean, now I'm not to the point yet where it's fun. I don't think it'll ever be fun to admit that I don't know something, but it's kind of exciting. It's just like, oh, that's something I don't know. I can find this out. We can find this out together. Yeah.
Yeah. We can be curious about it instead of, trying to know everything. We can't know everything. I decided long ago, there's no way I can know everything.
Yeah.
I have a strong intellect.
Yeah.
But I had to just bit by bit, just drop away from the intellect, because oftentimes the intellect is what gets me in trouble. If I follow my body, if I follow my instinct, if I follow my intuition, I'm a much better caregiver.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. That's a practice too. It's interesting. I love that you said intuition, because that's a thing that, because I worked for so long in sort of rational fields like academic life and IT, I learned this distrust of intuition.
Yeah.
And I am still in the process of learning what my intuition is versus what's the thing that I want to happen.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's another thing that I would love for anyone who works with humans to really deeply explore. What is intuition, and what versus what is what you would prefer to happen, Right. And it's just that truth is hard to discern. I don't know. Do you ever find it challenging to discern, is this really intuition or is this just what I want?
I used to. What shifted for me was letting go of, it's kind of hard to describe, but at some point I decided I'm not in charge here. And so I'm going to just allow whatever divine beings are working with me, whatever energy is informing this session, to be in charge. And I will go where they tell me to go, and I will do what they tell me to do, even if it makes no sense. And it often makes no sense. I'm like rubbing on a person's pinky toe for 20 minutes. I mean, that makes no sense rationally, but people experience loads of release and relief when you just listen. It does take time. It takes, actually, for me, it took courage. Real courage to drop the rules. And my background as a PT is very rational. everything is evidence-based. You don't do anything unless it's been proven by X number of peer-reviewed studies that indicate it's whatever, you know. And that's why I had to leave the mainstream PT industry, because I felt like I couldn't care for people appropriately. I wasn't allowed to follow my intuition. I couldn't go deep with people. I could only, you know, put a hot pack on or make them stretch their hamstrings, and like they can do that at home. Right?
Yeah.
They don't need me for that.
Yeah.
They can get a plug-in hot pack and go online and download a hamstring stretching yoga flow. So yeah, I do think, and that's one of my passions in my life, is helping people, all people, not just therapists, to learn to tap into their intuition, how it shows up for them in their body, and follow that for their life.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, I love that you're doing that. That's such a beautiful thing to bring out in people. So it's, I think there's also the challenge. I wonder if you have found this with anyone you work with or with yourself, of, it's like a form of spiritual bypassing where, you know, you think you've tapped into your intuition or whatever is working through you. But you haven't really. In order to do that, you need to understand your dark.
Oh,
and
yeah.
your, can I cuss? Is that okay?
Go for it. I already did.
Yeah, you need to like fabulous. You need to like sit in your shit and really look at it.
Yeah.
And that is hard.
It is. It is hard. So there's a couple of tricks I have for this that I teach people all the time. One of them is a body pendulum. Do you know how to do a body pendulum sometime?
No, tell me about it.
Body pendulum is something you can do anywhere at any time, very, you know, without making a scene. I mean, you can use a traditional pendulum like this to test for things. You can ask the pendulum, show me yes, and the pendulum will start to swing. You can see it started to swing. Stop. Show me no. And it'll start to swing no. So typically, for a pendulum use, back and forth is yes, and left and right is no.
Okay.
However, it's a bit weird to take your pendulum out in the middle of a treatment session, or you're trying to decide what you want to eat for food and what's best for your body, to like take your pendulum out and work with it. So you can simply stand up. You want to try it?
Yes.
You might as well.
Totally.
So this is going to cut off my head, but oh well. Let's see if I can get it to show my head. So you're going to stand still with space around you, and you're going to ask your body to show you yes. And see which way your body sways.
Okay.
Are you swaying forward?
Forward and back, yeah.
Nice. Okay, so come to stillness and ask your body to show you no. So you go side to side for no. Some people sway forward for yes and backwards for no. So it can show up differently.
Yeah.
And it's all correct. So you can ask yourself as you're standing here, I want to eat pizza right now.
That's like, seriously, no.
Yeah, no way. Like
no way.
At 9:41 a.m. or whatever time it is there for you. Doesn't sound good. You can ask yourself any yes or no question this way.
Yeah.
And get accurate results. Isn't that fun?
Yeah. Anything that involves movement and being in my body, I'm all about it.
So when I'm working with people, I sometimes will use that. I'll be standing and I'll say, okay, I need to move toward the head, yes or no. I need to do cranial work right now, yes or no. I'll ask myself questions of my body, and it's a very, you know, subtle way to test yourself. And I've learned to really trust it. It takes practice, but I've learned to really trust it. It's great for everyone. You can test supplements, you can test foods, you can test bedtimes. I mean, you name it, you can test it. As long as you form it into a yes or no question.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I'm totally going to use that. And we'll probably send you messages about, Jamie, guess what? Yeah.
Yes, please do. I'm just jotting down our notes here of all the fun things we've talked about. So yeah, I think intuition is really important. It takes time. Basically, it's about how do you trust yourself? How well do you trust yourself?
Yes.
Yeah, and for me, that has taken, I don't know, a good 4 years of daily practice.
Mm-hmm.
And that's including a lot, and I mean a lot, of hypnotherapy, clearing around trauma, around fears, around beliefs. I've had to abandon almost everything that I thought was true.
Yeah.
In the search for this.
That's some scary stuff. I mean, yeah, straight up. That's, yeah. That's, I feel like I'm, well, you're always in the middle of the journey, right? But I'm in the middle of that journey and have done a lot of discovery of what's important. And I'm at a sort of precipice right now of bringing that out into the world, but that's going to involve a lot of redefining how people see me.
Yeah.
So,
and redefining how you see you.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes. So sitting with the fear, making friends with it,
That's good. Yeah. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I feel like we kind of did a lot of the questions, actually.
Yay for us.
In a weird kind of backwards way. Are you ready to talk about, what gift that you have for everyone?
Yes. So mild background on this. One of my obsessions, in addition to massage therapy, is like embodiment and helping people to live comfortably, myself included, in your body, because this is your home. This is your original home. This is should be a safe and comfortable place. Mm-hmm. And for too many people, especially too many women who we've had things done to and around us, it's not a safe and comfortable place. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that I do a lot is I dance, I move, I take formal dance classes, but also just move. So what I'm going to walk us through is a kind of movement practice that's based on some belly dance stuff, which is my favorite kind of dance, and also just some kind of yoga practices around really opening up like lower chakra energy, like pelvis energy, and pulling up from the earth, and getting your whole body moving. So I'm going to stand up. I am going to put this song on, and this is a song by a Rwandan artist whose name is Deo Munyakazi, and I encourage you to support him because he's amazing.
Is he on YouTube or iTunes?
He is. I think this song is on iTunes. It's called Amahoro. Okay. And you can find him there as well. He plays a traditional Rwandan stringed instrument called the inanga.
Beautiful. And I'll have the link for everyone.
Fabulous.
I'll find the link. Okay. How much room do people need?
How much room? Just like enough room to draw a circle around yourself.
Okay.
So I'm going to talk us through some movements, and then we'll have freedom. So starting from the top down, because we live in our heads, just kind of move your neck in a way that feels comfortable and loose. And we're just going to work up to down. Okay, now move down to your shoulders. And roll it one at a time. Go backwards and forwards.
You got to turn it down a little bit. So I can hear your voice.
Okay, now to your chest. Just make circles. Think about rotating your wrist face around the center of your body. Take your heart chakra for a walk. Like you're starting into your knees, your arms might be moving so fast. And then come to your knees. Okay, we're going to travel back up. So think about pulling up all the way into your body, up to your hips. Whatever force there is.
Got to speak up a little bit for this part.
And then shoot up and out. And when you feel it from the and I invite you to travel through this, travel feel this here, so you feel like you need to get out more fabulous. If you feel like your quads need to break, you want to go back to bringing energy up to your body. As you're doing this, I invite you to really express your gratitude to your whole body for this movement and this being right now. So I love the heart of this. And there we are.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
So can you give me the verbal gist of that? Because I think some of that audio might have been kind of choppy.
Okay.
Just so people understand.
Absolutely.
Start at the neck and.
Thank you for joining me in that. That was
That was so fun.
Cool.
I needed that.
So basically, what you're doing is working up to down and down to up to just get into your body, and you're doing that by moving your joints in. I like circles, but whatever your body likes to do. So you start with the neck, then move to the shoulders, then the chest, and then the hips and the knees. And you know, the ankles go when the knees go, because that's how our bodies are made.
Yep.
And then work back up, you know, knees, hips, chest, shoulders, wrists, and neck.
Yeah.
And once you've kind of settled into your body, to take like a wide squat stance, bring your arms out to the sides and down, kind of in a point like this, like you are gathering in.
Gathering the energy.
Yep. Gathering the energy in, and once you can feel it in your arms, just shoot it up and out, just quickly.
Whew.
Thinking about, when you splash water on yourself,
Yeah.
that's kind of what you're doing with what you've gathered in. And
So that's beautiful. Is this a practice that you would recommend in the morning? Like, when would you do it?
I would do this in the middle of the grocery store.
Anywhere.
Anywhere. I think morning is excellent. You will know the rhythm of yourself.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Or you'll learn.
You are feeling like detached from your physical self. I would recommend doing this as a way to bring it back to your physical body. So I will do this. Like I'm involved in a big writing project right now, and I'll like write for an hour and then do this because I need to get up from my chair and just come back to my body. So, yeah.
I love it. Thank you. That was a beautiful gift. And so you said it kind of is a combination of Kali and Lakshmi energy. So is the circle which part is which?
Which part is, well, for me, the shooting up, I mean, I think of this as very like powerful, well, it's all powerful, but like sword-like.
Yes.
So that feels very Kali, sort of cutting through all your bullshit to me. And it's Lalita Devi, who I'm still working with and
Lalita,
developing a friendship with.
Yeah.
But the circles, especially the hip circles, and the kind of what that does to kind of release your pelvic floor, and release tension, so that sort of loving, life-giving energy can flow through.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And I think I'm drawn to those two entities, goddesses, energies, whatever you want to call it, because to me, they feel like the same, all the same, but they feel really the same to me. So there we go.
I love it. Yeah. I felt like when we were coming down, it was like we were going down into the underworld, and then bringing strength up through the body.
Yeah.
I love
absolutely. That. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. That was gorgeous.
You're welcome.
I'm going to do that on my lunch break today.
Fabulous.
So how can people reach you if they want to work with you, or they have someone they love that they want, or they want to learn from you, or whatever? How can people reach you?
Yes. Email is the best way. It's Rebecca.l as in Lisa .sturgeon, and sturgeon is just like the fish, STURGEON, at Gmail.
Okay.
And I'm in transition with my physical practice, so that's really the best way to reach me. And yeah, available via Zoom or whatever.
Awesome. I'll make sure that her email is in the comments on Facebook and also on the YouTube, the YouTube video.
Fabulous.
So can reach out to you if they want to. Thank you so much for today. Really powerful conversation for me.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. I thank you for this space and for creating this space. I'm just thrilled to be a part of it.
Yeah. Thank you. We'll have to do it again.
Yeah.
Okay. Take care for today.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.